Live from the heart of New York City, it's the morning show with Mike and Juliet. Tuesday. So,
I didn't really know what to get, so I just went all crazy buying everything.
do you max out your plastic every holiday season, spending thousands of dollars you don't have? How to know if you're an emotional spender, and the 4 steps to financial recovery. Now, your hosts, Mike Jarek and Juliet Hullum.
Welcome back to the morning show. Mike's doing all right.
Oh,
okay, but
heck of a lot better. I love this giant studio. It's
all
perfect.
right, I know exactly. All right, December. Debt. A lot more in common than just the letter D, my friend.
That's for sure. For millions of Americans, the ghosts of Christmas past, this past Christmas, arriving this week in your mailbox.
Our mailbox. Check your calendars, people. It's the month of January, better known as payback time. When all those great gifts you had to have, bought during those super sales you couldn't miss, have come back to haunt you. The holiday season can be brutal on your bank account. A little something here, a gadget there, and before you know it, you are drowning in debt. So we took a quick survey of shoppers to find out how they financed the favors they bought.
I didn't really know what to get, so I just went all crazy buying everything.
I spent over $800 and all that I got was just this crappy scarf right here. People don't appreciate nothing.
I try to not spend on things I don't have to, but holidays are essential spending.
Luckily, my birthday falls just before Christmas, so I tend to spend my birthday money on Christmas presents.
You know, I never set budgets, but this year, starting a new job, you know, I got to really start setting a budget. That way I can actually afford more next holiday season and maybe buy some good stuff for myself, too.
I only spent what I wanted to spend, and that's it. I just used my cash and no charge cards, and that's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm finished.
She's a freak of nature is what she is. Nobody does that. Here to share her own story of a holiday debt disaster is Jazz Main. Hello,
Hi, Jazz. And with some tips from for Jazz and all the rest of us, financial fitness coach Sanyika Calloway. Boys, welcome back to the show. Jazz, now you have 2 boys?
I have 2 children.
What are their ages?
9 and 7.
Oh boy, I remember when my kids were that age, my
Yes.
daughters. You want to buy them everything for Christmas.
Everything. You want the holidays to be a really special time. And this year in particular, I had an opportunity for all of my family to get together, and I jumped on
Who all
it.
showed?
My mom, my dad, my sisters, my nephew, and my boys. And
But can I
everyone
just
was
jump
there
in real
together.
quick?
Yes.
They all showed because you paid for them to fly in.
Well,
which is wonderful of you.
It was an opportunity, and it was like very much do whatever it takes to get everybody together.
But you put yourself into major debt by doing that, because how much did you end up spending?
Probably about $2,000 altogether.
Money that you really didn't have to spend.
Yeah.
That sounds...
If I wasn't, you know, about my image, I didn't want to ask for support from my family. Like I wanted.
No, what do you mean by that?
myself.
Your image. I know you're a hairdresser and you have your own place now, and
It's just embarrassing. You don't want people to know that you don't have the money, and you want everyone to be happy. And you feel like if you spend the money, people will be happy.
But listen, you fly them all in. Some of them could have flown in themselves. And then when they all get here, you feel like you want to go, let's all go to a movie. People do that on Christmas Day. Why do you have to pay for the movie?
Well, it was up until the point when we got to the movie theater that I realized that I overspent, because at that point I had to ask for support. So yeah, like.
But it seems like you're equating the money with love. You'll love me more if I give you money.
I am.
Yeah.
Is that it?
It's classic. This is emotional spending. And so here's one of the questions I want to ask you. Where you are right now, would you do it again?
I would not do it the same way I did it before. I would do it because it's my family. I would do whatever it takes to get them all together, but I would ask for support.
So here's what I need to say to you.
Yeah.
Because we have been convinced that this idea of priceless, this Norman Rockwell experience that you attempted to create is priceless. And it has a huge price tag. It is not priceless. Right now, you and your sons are struggling. And you've called it an opportunity to bring your family together.
Yes.
But the reality is it's a nightmare that you're dealing with on the other side of it. So we need to first address the whole emotional piece, because this is not something that's unique to you. What happens so many times is people say, you know what, I want to create the experience and I'll deal with the reality later.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And your reality is pretty bleak right now.
Yeah, well, for the last couple of weeks, the boys and I have been, just eating cereal and trying to tie it together. I'm looking at my cable bill, my electric bill, my cell phone bill, everything right now because I put everything off so that I can have this amazing experience.
And you are not the only person who has done
Not
that.
the
I
only
think
person
many
who's
of us
done
sitting
that
in
at
this
all.
room, including on this couch, did the same thing this holiday.
How far in debt are you, though, altogether? I mean,
Well, that's the issue. I accumulated lots of debt when I was younger, so I wasn't even eligible for credit cards, so I live cash.
Jazz, look at me. How much are you in debt?
About $20,000 in debt.
A lot of credit card debt.
And so what was so important to you about creating the experience with your family and having everybody here? What was the piece that was so important for you?
It was the first time in 11 years that everyone was going to be able to get together.
Okay.
And you just don't know when that's going to happen.
She said, come hell or high water. She
And clearly come hell.
And Sanyika, that is very understandable. When we come back, if you would, help her get out of this debt and
we
this
have some
trouble.
Tips that you can apply, obviously, to Jazz, but we're going to apply it to you and all of us, actually. Help you get rid of holiday debt. Here we go.
Oh, you know what we're talking about at home, don't you? Everybody goes through that moment when they get their January credit card statement and say, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah, Jazz did exactly that after charging more than $2,000 on gifts for everybody, plane tickets for her family. It was the time that her family in like 11 years could get together, and she took advantage of it. But now she's come back to
And now she's totally about $20,000 in debt. So financial coach Sanyika Calloway-Boyce is going to help her with her finances here. She's got to prioritize a little better.
Absolutely. The first thing that you have to do, whether it's Jazz or anyone else, when you're in this situation, you have to prioritize two categories very quickly: necessary and nice to have. Necessary are the things that you cannot do without. They're your shelter and your food. It's rent, it's mortgage, it's gas, electric, water, it's food, it's transportation to get back and forth to work. That's necessary.
What about cable?
Nice to have. It's a convenient thing, but you know what? You might need to do without it for 3, 6, even 9 months. It's cell phone, it's cable, it's internet, it's membership. It's memberships. It's anything that you have to say, you know what? It's nice to have, but it's something that I can't afford because it's going to take away from those necessary things.
She's a very good freelance hairdresser.
Right.
So anybody needs to hire her, let us know.
Absolutely.
EmmaJShow.com. But does she need to pick up other income somehow?
Well, see, you have to generate more income. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. When your ship is sinking, or when it's sunk, as in your case, you have to generate more income. It could look like working overtime, freelancing more. If you are with a salon, finding a way to say, hey, listen, we're going to do a 2-for-1. You bring your friend, we're going to have a discount there.
Don't get
Or
a
sell your
consolidator
stuff.
involved. I thought that was what you were supposed to do to help, change your credit.
Okay, so let me do a quick scenario.
Okay.
Mike, you borrowed $20 from Juliet.
Thank you, Juliet.
Okay. You tell Juliet you're going to pay her back on Friday.
I'll pay you back Friday.
Okay.
Sure.
Friday comes and goes, and Juliet, you don't see Mike.
Where's my phone call?
Where's your phone
my
call?
money?
Okay. So then, Mike,
I get it.
you
I would
tell
call
me. You ask me to call Juliet, and so I say, Juliet, I'm Sanyika,
And
I'm
who's
calling.
Sanyika? Where's Mike?
Well, I'm calling you on behalf
I want
of
my
Mike.
$20 from Mike.
Well, I'm letting you know
Well, I
that
don't care what
actually
you're letting me know. I
he
want
is
my
going to
$20
be able to
from Mike.
pay you, but in 3 weeks from now. Could we work something out with
Why
that?
can't Mike call me?
Well, he's asking me to call you.
I get it.
Do you see what
That's
happens?
what the consolidator does.
Well, see, what happens is, one, the consolidation companies are not going to do anything that you cannot do yourself. And two, it actually codes your credit report when you're working with a third-party
So
vendor.
the tip is she needs to contact
She
this
or anyone else.
creditor.
That really
And it
helps?
And
It
build
does.
those relationships
because,
on my own.
Because, again, now the situation is, I come to you, and you say, okay, fine, I'll take the $10. But now if Mike comes to you, are you willing to work with him again?
Boy, that is a good tip, and we have so many more for you on our website, EmmaJShow.com. She's got a whole list of them for you. Go to that website.